版的空间。再小一点，再小一点，然后再出来，往这边。OK。开始那个也可以。
开始了吗？ Hello, hi everyone. Hello YouTubers. Welcome back to Jacknkings food live stream. I'm Shiji. Nice to see you again. Hello. 卡了。Hi, hello friends. So, where are you from everyone? Are you from the US? Are you from some other places around the world? I'm so happy that you're here tonight to experience the classic taste of old Shanghai. The Nanxiang soup dumpling. Do you see right here in front of me? Does anybody know what this is? Does anybody know what this is? Hi, this is the soup dumplings. When you think of soup dumplings, does your mind instantly picture that thin skin, delicate, plump filling, and hot savory broth spilling out with every bite? And today we've brought them here, right in front of me. For many people in the US, the image of soup dumplings often comes from the famous restaurant Din Tai Fung. Have you ever heard that restaurant? Yes, if yes, you can simply type 1 in the chat box. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the name because it's so famous, it's so popular. Right, but today what we have here today is the Nanxiang soup dumpling. It is actually the original inspiration. It is born in the historical town of Nanxiang over 100 years ago. For generations of Shanghainese, it's been a beloved breakfast. Yeah, does anybody know the place Nanxiang? Actually, it's a historical town in Shanghai. Right, so our Nanxiang soup dumpling actually came before the famous Din Tai Fung soup dumplings. Right, so what we have here right in front of me is our Jacknkings Nanxiang soup dumplings. You can see they're very cute. They're not big. The size is around this big. But actually when we steam them, it's gonna become bigger. You can see the folds. They're very cute and plump. Yum. Hello. Right, so I wonder, friends, have you tried the soup dumplings before, or so-called 小笼包 before? I just wonder if any of you have tried them before, because for me, I'd love them to be a part of my breakfast. Have you ever tried them before? Yes? Okay. All right. For me, I really like to take a bite. I like to sip that soup in, and then I like the filling, especially the pork filling is my favorite. Okay, so today, now my colleagues are steaming a box of soup dumpling, and later I will try them just in front of the camera. So while we're waiting, I'm gonna introduce our product. So this story of Nanxiang soup dumpling dates back to Tongzhi era of the Qing dynasty. So that's a very long time ago. Right before the live stream, I searched on the internet. Din Tai Fung, I think it started from like 1958. Am I right? These are, yeah, dumplings, soup dumplings. It's a little bit different from the normal dumplings. It's soup dumplings. It's a little bit like bun. Right. Yeah. Have you ever heard Din Tai Fung soup dumplings? Ours are similar, but we have a longer history. Right. Yeah, now I'm introducing you the history of Nanxiang. So right in front of me, they are called Nanxiang soup dumplings. They date back to Qing Dynasty. That's more than 100 years ago. They were first created by the pastry shop, 日华轩. Right, and they are known for their paper thin skin. As you can see, the skin is super thin. And their perfectly pleated folds. As you can see, there are so many folds. Hi, Rome 2024. Hello, I'm introducing our soup dumplings. As you can see, I really like the folds. I heard that originally they need to be 18 folds. Let me count these one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think these ones have 12 folds. Hello, Emily. Hi. And I'm here to introduce traditionally, how how the chef made the soup dumplings. Traditionally, the rich broth is made by simmering pork skin into a gelatin, mixing it with the meat filling and steaming it. So traditionally, it's very complicated to make a soup dumpling. Hola. Hola, Toka. Yum. Later, I'm gonna try the steamed ones. So for Jacknkings, we have these frozen soup dumplings. Super easy to make. You don't need to hand make those 18 folds. That even when I heard of it, I was like, oh, so complicated. No one's gonna make it nowadays. But now we have our frozen ones. So it's super easy to make. You can either steam them or you can make them into a microwave oven. I'm not here to sell them. I'm just here to introduce them. So Neon, if you are interested, you can message this account later. So today it's not like a advertisement. I'm here to introduce, to share this product with you, to tell you more about our brand. Okay. So as I shared with you earlier, this origin came from like 100 years ago. It came from Nanxiang. It's a town in Shanghai. Have you ever heard the city Shanghai? I'm sure yes, right? It's so famous. It's a big city here in China, and this soup dumpling just came from that town in Shanghai. So as it cooks, the gelatin melts into hot soup, giving you that burst of flavor with each bite. That's why I like our soup dumplings the best. Okay, I wonder, friends, have you ever heard the restaurant Din Tai Fung? Din Tai Fung. It's a very famous restaurant in many different countries. I know there's restaurants in Taiwan, China, in the US, in the UK, right? Din Tai Fung made soup dumplings famous worldwide. Actually, the true origin lies in Nanxiang. Yeah, as I shared with you, it's a town in Shanghai. At Jacknkings, we preserve the traditional craftsmanship and flavors, with also adapting the recipe for the American market. So maybe you find it more edible. I mean, maybe you will like it, because we adjust the meat to broth ratio for a cleaner, more layered taste. So whether you're in a restaurant or at home, you can now easily enjoy the authentic old Shanghai flavor. Right. Okay, so for restaurant owners, this product is also a dream because we have a consistent quality. It's very quick preparation in just 10 to 15 minutes of steaming and minimal labor cost. So if you are a restaurant owner, I'm sure you cannot miss this product. You can include them in your breakfast menu or dim sum menu. Okay, maybe you're wondering that how we can cook them. As I shared with you, very easy. All you need to do, first step is to bring water in a steamer to boil them, and then you place the frozen dumplings on the steamer rack, leaving space between each other to prevent sticking. This one is important. You need to leave space between each other so that they don't stick together after you steam them. So, and then you need to steam over medium-high heat for about 10 minutes. If it's a commercial steamers, maybe you can shorten the time. I'm sure you know how to use your steamer better than I do. Okay, so the cooking instructions super easy, right? Here today we have freshly steamed Nanxiang soup dumplings. Now I'm gonna show you. They are just from the steamer. I can feel the heat right now. You can see. Oh, actually, right out of the steamer, they look bigger. As you can see, these are the frozen ones, and these are the steamed ones. So you can see that they're much more bigger because the soup just melted, and so that they make the size a little bit bigger. Right. If you put them for a longer time, and then maybe they're gonna get smaller. Yeah, so you can see here, they're much bigger than the frozen ones. For the frozen ones, they look plump and cute. But for the steamed ones, I'm sure this look more like what you see in a restaurant, like Ding Tai Fung, right? Okay, so these are just taken out from a steamer. You can see that the skin is so thin that you can almost see the soup inside. Let me show you. I need to be careful. Yeah, you can almost see the soup inside. We have the soup as well as the pork filling. Can you see? So cute. So it's gonna be my breakfast, because here in China it's I think it's 9:45 in the morning. I haven't had my breakfast yet, so it's gonna be my breakfast together with my homemade latte. Okay, you can see the folds are beautiful, right? So beautiful. And you can almost see the soup inside. You can see the pork. Okay, as for how to eat it, there are many different ways. Personally, I like to just eat them. I know some friends may like to dip them into some different sauces. So here today, we also prepared some sauce. As you can see, this is the hot chili one. I know some friends like to eat the soup dumplings together with a hot chili sauce. So today I also will try a soup dumpling together with this. Okay, and I also know some friends who come from Guangdong, some Cantonese, or some friends from Fujian, the southern part of China, may like to pair the soup dumplings with soy sauce. So I also prepared some of these. I know maybe friends also like to pair it with vinegar. You can just, it's up to you. You can have it together with whatever you like. So friends, now who are watching this live, which one do you prefer? You can leave a comment in the chat. This one's the chili sauce, hot chili sauce, and this one is the soy sauce. Personally, I like to have it with nothing. I like to have it pure. Okay, but today I'm gonna try them with the chili sauce and soy sauce. Okay, let me give it a try. Usually I like to bite a little bit so that I can sip the soup. Yum. It's like I'm eating pork soup. Oh, so you can see there's soup. And then you can see the pork filling inside. Okay, I'm gonna pair it with the chili sauce. It's rich and flavory. It's full of umami without any trace of gameness. Yeah. Okay. One more sip of the chili sauce. It just adds to more flavor of it. I feel like if you like spicy, you might, if you like it when it's spicy, you might like this one, the chili sauce one. But it's not very spicy. It just adds to a little bit of spice in it. So you might feel a bit of heat at the end, but it's okay. It's not very spicy. You can have it as a breakfast, as I said, together with a latte or something. That makes a wonderful breakfast. Or you can also have it together with milk or tea or whatever you like. Okay, and then I'm gonna try it with the soy sauce. Let's see, will it be a little bit different? The vibe is so different. The vibe is so different. This one, I feel it's more classic. Yeah, so for this one, I feel like it's more classic and it makes it a little bit more salty because originally the soup dumplings are not very salty. So if you like your food to be more salty, maybe you're gonna like the soy sauce one. Alright, but no matter what sauce you choose, no matter, as I said, no matter you pair it with hot chili sauce or soy sauce or vinegar, it's up to you. You can also have it just pure without any sauce. It's also okay. So we have many different methods. You can pair it with any sauce you like. You can use it for your breakfast. You can have it together with a latte, with milk, with tea, with anything you like. All right. So I know that in the US, you can find soup dumplings in many Chinese restaurants. I wonder, have any of you tried the soup dumplings before? Have any of you tried them before? Yes? If yes, you can type a yes or one in the chat box so that I can see. I know for a lot of people, Din Tai Fung was their very first experience, but our Nanxiang soup dumpling stays true to its roots, making it perfect for family gatherings, afternoon snacks, or even as an impressive dish for dinner guests. Yeah, so it's very versatile for families. You can have it as breakfast. You can have it as a dim sum afternoon tea together with afternoon tea, or you can have it as a late night snack, or it can also be a dish, right? It can also be a dish to serve your friends when you invite them over for dinner. Okay, maybe you're wondering that if you can cook them in the microwave oven, because earlier we have some questions like, can I heat them in the microwave? Yes. Personally, because I'm lazy, even though the soup dumplings are easy to make, you don't need to be a professional chef to make them. All you need to do is to steam them. But still, I'm lazy. I don't want to spend 10 or 15 minutes on steaming them. So usually I like to use the microwave. That's also fine. It's also okay. You just take them from the freezer, cover with a damp paper towel, wrap with plastic wrap, or you can just put them on a plate. It's also fine. And microwave on high for 2 to 3 minutes. I think 2 minutes is enough. But honestly, the skin tends to dry out a little bit. That's why we recommend you to use a steamer, because if you use a microwave, if you microwave them for 2 minutes, maybe the skin will dry out. So that's why it tastes not as good as the ones that we steamed. Right, so we recommend you to use a steamer. And many of you are curious about the traditional Nanxiang soup dumplings. So maybe we've got friends who asked, how many folds should a traditional Nanxiang soup dumplings have? Let me count these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So for our dumplings, we have 12 folds. That's also a complicated one, right? But traditionally 18 folds. It is considered the gold standard of craftsmanship. Fewer folds means a simpler wrap. That means the more folds, the more complicated when we cook them. Yes, more folds mean more precision, but also more time. That's why traditional Nanxiang soup dumplings have 18 folds. And some friends asked me, have you ever burned your tongue eating one? Yes, honestly, yes. But that's okay, because little moments like that just make the experience more memorable, right? So if you don't like it to be too hot, I recommend you, after you take them out from a steamer, you can wait for 1 minute to let them cool down a little bit, and then you can have them. It's also okay, right? That's just a little step. Hello everyone. Welcome to Jacknkings food live stream. So for each live stream, I'm here to introduce you one of our famous foods here from China. And maybe you're joining us from the US, maybe you're turning from anywhere around the world. I'm so happy that you're here tonight to experience the classic taste of old Shanghai, the Nanxiang soup dumplings. So I'm having them right in front of me. You can see they're mini, they're cute, they're plump. So does any of you ever try them before? Have any of you ever tried them before? The soup dumplings, or maybe we call them 小笼包 in Chinese, or 汤包 soup dumplings. Maybe when you think of soup dumplings, your mind just instantly picture that thin, delicate skin, a plump filling, and hot savory broth spilling out with every bite, right? And today we have them right here in front of me. Traditionally, it takes very long time to handmade the soup dumplings because you can see every soup dumpling has many folds. Traditionally, the Nanxiang soup dumplings have 18 folds on each little soup dumpling, so it's very complicated to make. But today we have our frozen ones. As you can see right in front of me, they have consistent quality. Almost every soup dumpling looks not exactly similar. They look similar, they look almost the same. I would say they look almost the same. They have the same size. They have the folds on. So I would recommend this product to restaurant owners because you can prepare them within 15 minutes and you don't need to have a professional chef to cook them. Yeah, you can serve our Nanxiang soup dumplings as a breakfast, or you can have them, if a Cantonese restaurant, you can serve it as a dim sum, or afternoon tea, or late night snack. It's very versatile. Okay, I know many people in the US, for many people in the US and also in other places around the world, the image of soup dumplings often comes from the famous restaurants, Din Tai Fung, right? But what we have today, the Nanxiang soup dumpling, is actually the original inspiration. It is born in the historical town of Nanxiang over 100 years ago. I don't know if any of you have heard the name Nanxiang town. It's in Shanghai, right? It's in Shanghai. So for generations of Shanghainese, it's been a beloved breakfast and late night snack. So if you are from Shanghai, or if you have friends from Shanghai, they must know the Nanxiang soup dumplings because it's been so famous in Shanghai. And today we've brought them to the US and some other places. So we've brought them out of China, right? I don't know if you have tried soup dumplings before. Have you tried soup dumplings before? If yes, you can comment. You can leave a comment. For me personally, I like to take a small bite and sip the broth first, and then I have the whole dumplings. Not within one bite, maybe in 2 bites. Okay, so today I'm here to introduce you the story of Nanxiang soup dumplings. Do you know how long the history is? We have a very long history. Just before the live, I searched on the internet. It says Din Tai Fung. The history of Din Tai Fung started from like 1958, but our history is longer. Our Nanxiang soup dumplings have a longer history. The story of Nanxiang soup dumplings dates back to the Tongzhi era of the Qing dynasty. That's more than 100 years ago. When they were first created, a shop called Xuan created these soup dumplings. They're known for the paper thin skin, perfectly pleated folds, and a juicy, flavorful filling. Right. So traditionally, the rich broth is made by simmering pork skin into a gelatin, mixing it with the meat filling and steaming it. I know when you are hearing it, you must feel like, oh, it's so complicated. I'm never gonna make a soup dumpling all by myself. Yeah, so do I. I feel the same way. So today, Jacknkings have brought Nanxiang soup dumplings in the frozen form. That means you don't need to be a professional chef right now to make our Nanxiang soup dumplings. It's been so easy for you now. Let's go back to our story. As the first soup dumpling cooks, the gelatin melts into hot soup, giving you that burst of flavor with each bite. That's why it's called a soup dumpling. So later on, soup dumplings have been famous in Nanxiang town and as well as in Shanghai from then on. So it has been popular for more than 100 years. And now, not only Shanghainese people eat soup dumplings, people from all over China are having the soup dumplings as their breakfast. It's also one of my favorite breakfast choices. I know that Din Tai Fung made the soup dumplings famous worldwide. Actually, the true origin lies in Nanxiang. At Jacknkings, we preserve the traditional craftsmanship and flavors while also adapting the recipe for the American market. So we adjust the meat to broth ratio for a cleaner, more layered taste. And later on, I'm gonna try some steamed soup dumplings just right in front of the camera so that you can have a better understanding or picture of what it looks like when it is taken out of the steamer. Okay, whether you're in a restaurant or at home, you can now easily enjoy this authentic old Shanghai flavor. Right, so now you don't need to be a professional chef. You don't need to know how to fold the 18 folds. I know it sounds complicated because Jacknkings just has brought the soup dumplings to you in frozen form so that you don't need to make the folds all by yourself. And for restaurant owners, this product is a dream because we have consistent quality. As you can see, for each tray, the soup dumplings look very similar. We have a consistent quality. And also, it is a quick preparation. It only takes from 10 to 15 minutes of steaming. So that means a minimal labor cost. I know that for Chinese restaurants overseas, the labor cost is very expensive. So Jacknkings has been so considerable because we have brought the frozen soup dumplings to you so that you don't need so much labor cost. Okay, and for cooking instruction, I know that maybe restaurant owners know a lot. Maybe you know better than I do, but for family cooks, maybe you want to know how we cook them. Okay, listen to me, super easy. But one small step is that you always need to start with boiling water so that the broth stays sealed inside. Okay, that's one little step. And then I will tell you how we cook them. It's super easy. The first step is to bring water in a steamer or to boil. That's it. And then we need to place the frozen soup dumplings on a steamer rack. But you need to make sure that you leave space between each one. Remember, you need to leave space. Don't put them next to each other. Leave a little bit space. Because if you put them together when we steam them, maybe they stick to each other. So later on, when you try to separate them, the soup is gonna loose. That's why we recommend you to leave a little bit space between each other. Okay, and then it's easy. You just need to steam over medium-high heat for like 10 minutes. If you use a commercial steamers, you can shorten the time. Yeah, it's up to you. You know better about your steamer than I do. Okay, so now my colleagues have already steamed a tray of soup dumplings, and I'm gonna try them right in front of the camera. Da 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 da. Okay, so you can see here we have not a plate, a steamer of soup dumplings. It's right from the steamer. So you can see as for the size, the steamed ones are a little bit bigger. I asked my colleague, I said, are they the same ones? Are they from the same brand? They were like, yes, yes, yes. But after we steam them, they definitely gonna get a little bit bigger, as you can see. For the frozen ones, they're so cute and plump. I feel like so many. I feel like I can put 3 or even 6 soup dumplings on my palm. But for the steamed ones, you can see that they get bigger. Right. Okay, and today I also have prepared some sauces because I know some friends like to pair the soup dumplings with some sauce. So today what I have here with me, first is the hot chili sauce. And also I have the soy sauce right here. Okay, I personally I like to have the soup dumplings without any kind of soup. I like the original taste of it. But I know some friends like to pair it with chili sauce. Some friends like to pair it with soy sauce. So today I'm here to try it together with both sauces. Okay, I'm gonna take one out carefully. Remember, you need to be very careful. Otherwise, maybe it's gonna get broken and you will lose the soup. I've been so careful. So you can see the folds clearly. And you can see the skin is so thin. It's so thin that you can almost see the filling and the soup inside, right? Looks so cute and beautiful. Okay, so now let me take a first bite. I'm gonna take a small nibble and sip the broth. That's my favorite part. I'm gonna take a small bite. I can feel the soup. You can see this is the filling. It's made of pork. I think it's only pork. It's not much other things. Yeah, so this is what looks like inside. And now I'm gonna dip it in the chili sauce. Let's see how it's gonna taste like. So I dip it in the chili sauce. It adds to a little bit of spice to the taste, but it's not very spicy. It's not overly spicy. It's just at the end you can feel a little bit of heat. So personally, I feel this one is okay. Maybe friends who like spicy flavor gonna like this one. Okay, now I'm gonna dip in the soy sauce. This is very classical, and actually friends, I mean my friends don't usually have soup dumpling paired with soy sauce, but I know that Cantonese, do we have friends here from Guangdong? Cantonese people? No? Or friends from southern part in China, like Fujian province, may like this one. So I'm also gonna try this together with the soy sauce. Let me give it a try. I would say it's also good. The original flavor is not very salty, so the soy sauce just makes it a little bit more salty. If you like soy sauce, the flavor of soy sauce, you might like this one. All right, so personally, I'm having my breakfast just in the live because usually I like to have soup dumplings together with a latte. This is my homemade latte. So that can be a very good breakfast because you have the protein, you have the carbon dioxide, you also have coffee. So that makes a perfect breakfast. You can also have the soup dumplings together with Americano, tea or breakfast tea. It's up to you. You can have it with whatever you like. And as for the sauce, it's also up to you. I know some friends like to pair it with vinegar. It's also fine. Right, so this product is so versatile. You can have it, you can pair it with any kind of sauce, and you can pair it with any drinks. Tea, coffee, milk, whatever. All right. So for the soup dumpling, I would say the flavor is very rich, savory. It's full of umami, but it doesn't have any trace of gameness. So personally, I like it. I would recommend this soup dumplings to all of you, in front of the camera. Okay, I know that in the US you can find soup dumplings in many Chinese restaurants. I don't know if any of you tried them before. No? I know that for a lot of people, Din Tai Fung was your first experience, right? But our Nanxiang soup dumplings stays true to its roots, making it perfectly for family gatherings, afternoon snacks, or even as an impressive dish for dinner guests. That's right. So if you are a family cook, you can definitely have our soup dumplings as your breakfast. As I shared with you, you can have it paired with latte or tea or milk or whatever you like. You can make a breakfast in a very simple way. You don't need to have so much time to prepare for your family breakfast. And also, you can also have it as an afternoon tea. Yes, they can be paired with afternoon. And also, if you are a Chinese if you are a Chinese living in US right now, if you want to invite your friend over to have dinner, you can definitely have this this can be an impressive dish because I'm sure they will be very impressive if they tried our soup dumplings. Okay. All right, and before this live, we've got some private messages. Friends are wondering if we can heat them in the microwave oven. The answer is yes. That's a very good answer, I know. Although the steaming way, it's not complicated. It's easy. All you need to do is to put them on a steamer and steam them for like 10 to 15 minutes. It's not very complicated, but for people who are as lazy as me, we want to even simplify the process. We want to spend shorter time on making them. So you can definitely use a microwave oven. You just need to take them from the freezer. You cover with a damp paper towel, wrap with plastic wrap, or you can just put them on a plate. That's it. And then you microwave for 2 minutes. Personally, I like to have a glass of water next to them because usually when you microwave them, the skin tends to dry out. That makes it taste not as good as the one when we use a steamer. So that's why we recommend you to use a steamer to steam this soup dumplings. Okay, and some people are curious about the traditional Nanxiang soup dumplings. Do you know how many folds should a traditional Nanxiang soup dumpling have? Does any of you know? This is a little, actually personally I didn't know it before I prepared for this live stream. So actually 18 folds. It is considered the gold standards of craftsmanship. Fewer folds means a simpler wrap. More folds mean more precision, but also more time. Definitely. And today what we have here, the Nanxiang soup dumplings, I counted, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I counted several soup dumplings and they all have 12. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, we have the consistent quality. Almost every single soup dumpling here have 12 folds. That's not, to be honest, that's not as the golden standard as the traditional ones, but it's also a good ones because as you can see they're not very big. Yeah, and 12 folds already make them a good wrap. So as you can see here. And I have one friend who asked me if I have ever burned my tongue eating one. Yes, the answer is yes. But it's okay because little moments like that just make the experience more memorable. So it's okay. Oh, also one little worm tip. If you use a steamer to steam them, I recommend you, after you take them out, you can wait for 1 minute or 2 minutes so that they cool down a little bit because the soup inside are super hot. The soup inside are super hot right after the steamer. So that's why you can give it a minute or two so that it cool down a little bit. But I don't recommend you to leave the soup dumplings on the table for so long because you can see here, I've had them for like 1 hour out of the steamer. As you can see that they're not as plump as before because the soup inside cools down. The soup inside cools down. That makes the size become smaller and not as plump as before. So I recommend you when you take them out of a steamer, I recommend you to give them 1 minute or two, but I don't recommend you to wait for so long before you eat them, right? And that's when we have the best flavor. I mean, the best time, the best eating time, the best sharing time is after 1 minute or 2 when you take them out of the steamer. Okay. All right. So this is the steamed ones, and I also have here in front of me the frozen ones. Maybe you can notice what difference do they have. Do you notice any differences between the frozen ones and the steamed ones? Any differences that you notice? You can see that for the steamed ones, they are a little bit bigger, right? But for the frozen ones, they're smaller and they're plump. I feel like they're so cute. They're like little 元宵. I don't know if any of you them. They're so cute and plump. But that's because they have the soup frozen inside. So when we steam them, they definitely get a little bit bigger. That's because the frozen soup melt. That's why the size is bigger. So if you buy them from a supermarket, don't feel like, oh, that host cheated. They're not as big as what I saw in the live. That's because we steam them. So what you have frozen is like this. You can see they're so cute. They're separated in each little tray, and you can see the folds. Okay, so what I have here, the frozen little cute dumplings, they're actually the Nanxiang soup dumplings. I don't know if any of you have heard of them. The history dates back to the Tongzhi era of Qing dynasty, when they first created by the pastry shop Rihua Xuan. They're known for the paper thin skin. As you can see, the skin is super thin, and it's perfectly pleated folds. As you can see, each little cute soup dumpling has the folds. When I was little, I feel like the soup dumplings have flowers on top of them, the folds. Personally, for me, I feel like the folds look like flowers, right? Like daisy, right? Do you feel like they look like daisy? Okay, and traditionally, I'm gonna tell you how the traditional chef make them. So actually, the rich broth inside is made by simmering pork skin into gelatin and mixing it with the meat filling and steaming it. I know it sounds so complicated, and when I heard of it, I was like, no, I'm never gonna be able to make them. So today, at Jacknkings, we brought them frozen. Now it's so simple to make. And traditionally, as it cooks, the gelatin melts into hot soup, giving you that burst of flavor with each bite. Today, the making method is a little bit different. We don't use pork skin, but we use pork inside. So that makes it a little bit different from the very traditional ones, the ones 100 years ago. Because I know maybe some of you cannot accept the pork skin, right? Okay, so ours are very different from the very original ones. While Din Tai Fung made some soup dumplings famous worldwide, the true origin lies in Nanxiang. I don't know if any of you ever heard Nanxiang. This is a town. This is an old town. It's in Shanghai. At Jacknkings, we preserve the traditional craftsmanship and flavors, while also adapting the recipe for the American market. right? So we adjust the meat to broth ratio for a cleaner, more layered taste. Right, so whether you are at a restaurant or at home, you can now easily enjoy this authentic old Shanghai flavor. And also for restaurant owners, this product is a dream because it's so easy to make and it tastes so good. We have consistent quality, as you can see that each little soup dumpling look similar, and we have quick preparation in just 10 to 15 minutes of steaming and minimal labor cost, because I know that labor cost is very expensive in North America and also in Europe. So our product just decrease the labor cost for you because you don't need a professional chef. Even you can do it. Anybody can do it. So maybe you're wondering if it's easy to make, then how can we cook them? So now I'm gonna tell you all about the cooking instructions. Here's the key, listen up. Here's the key to steaming perfect soup dumplings. Remember that we always start with boiling water so the broth stays sealed inside. That's very important. And now I'm gonna tell you the steps of making the soup dumpling. Not making, but steam. The first step is to bring water in a steamer to boil, and then you place the frozen dumplings on the steamer rack. But here you need to pay attention that you need to leave space between each little soup dumpling. Remember, you don't put them right next to each other. You leave a little bit of space. That's because if you put them right next to each other, maybe they're gonna stick because it's made of flour, right? You can see when they're not frozen anymore, they might stick to each other. That's why I recommend you to leave a little bit of space between each little soup dumpling. And then we come to the final step. Easy, right? The final step is to steam over medium-high heat for about 10 minutes. Yeah, that's it. If you use a commercial steamer, maybe you can shorten the time. I'm sure if you are a restaurant owner, you know better about your steamer than I do. But usually we steam for from 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, and as for when we can have them for home cooks and for family, restaurant owners, you can serve our little soup dumplings as a breakfast. You can pair them with any sauce, soy sauce, chili sauce, or vinegar. It's up to you. I know different people have different tastes, so it's up to you. You can also you can have the soup dumplings together with latte, with milk, with tea. So if you have a breakfast, restaurant, you're definitely not gonna miss our product because it's very easy to make. And if you have like a Cantonese restaurant, this can be included on your dim sum menu, right? It can also be an afternoon tea choice, right? It's so versatile. Okay, so tonight we explored the history of Nanxiang soup dumplings. We've learned about their connection to modern brands like Din Tai Fung. We picked up some steaming tips, and we enjoyed a taste of this century-old Shanghai classic. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Don't forget to follow Jacknkings for more live cooking demos and delicious Chinese classics. See you in the next stream. By the way, if you want to know more about the traditional Chinese food, you can leave a comment or you can private message us. You can tell us about what you want to see. Maybe we're gonna share with you later on our later live stream. We will talk more about the traditional Chinese food. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you again for spending this beautiful night here with me. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.